Um, my friends that watch, that means all of you that watch this, and you all are Tay Tay fans, how are y'all doing? Are you tortured? I'm happy for y'all. Surprise! Double album. So silly. I love it. So much good music is coming out lately, and I'm happy that everyone is getting what they need. Let's get into it. Take, I think, 85. What's good, peacemakers? Welcome back to another episode of the Piece for Peace Crafting Podcast. I'm Michael, and this is my crafty corner of the YouTube universe. If you would like to find me on other social media, you can do so by following me over on Instagram and Threads at Piece for Peace Crafting, over on Ravelry as Piece for Peace Craft, and if you like music, you can follow along to the playlist that goes with this podcast over on Spotify at Piece for Peace Crafting Podcast playlist. If you have trouble finding that playlist, please feel free to reach out to me over on Instagram and I will gladly send you the link. How is everyone doing? It's been 2 weeks. I feel like I was just sat in this chair talking to you all. So I don't know what's going on. I feel like time is flying, and here we are again. I am coming to you a little bit later than normal. Things for me have been fine, a little bit chaotic, but we are managing. I'm sure a lot of you are in the same boat. Oh, I'm so sorry. If this is your first time watching and you enjoy what you see, please feel free to do all that fun YouTube stuff, like, comment, subscribe. We love a subscribe over here. Costs you nothing, just helps to put this channel out into the YouTube-ness so that other people can find me. What was I saying? Oh yeah, it's been very chaotic. Maybe it's been chaotic for you too. Someone told me Mercury, see, chaos. Mercury was in retrograde, so take that for what it's worth. Other than that, I've been doing some crafty things here in Chicago. We had YarnCon happening this weekend, and so I took the day to go and hang out at YarnCon. Normally, I would do sort of like a festival recap. I've done a few. I did a YarnCon one last year here on the channel, but I felt like this year I just wanted to feel like I was going and just like seeing the show, you know, and just like hanging out. Yeah, and I thought that if I were to try to put something together, it wasn't gonna be as good of quality as I wanted it to be, because like not that my heart wasn't in it, but it was just like I need to just go and experience the show for myself this time around. So there's that. I do have a little bit of some stuff to show that I bought there today. I actually can't believe I'm recording after spending, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours at the show. Anyway, I wanted this to be up this weekend and thought that I would just come home, have a quick little snack, and then record to get this out. So that's been going on. I've been doing adventures in everything, and so without further ado, shall we get into it? I have 1, 2, 3, like 4-ish FOs, 5 maybe, 5? I don't really know. And I'm actually only working on one thing right now, so let's get into it. All right, first thing is last time I was talking to you all about how I went back to go tufting for my birthday, and we finally got our rugs back. And so let me just make sure this is a little bit put together. So this was my second rug that I ended up creating. And now looking at it, it looks so funny. So I went with a bigger size this time. And here's how that turned out. It is the Chicago flag. My stars are a little janky, but that's okay. I love it. It turned out so great. I'm going to just hold it like this because it's hard to do both and I don't want to cover my mouth. Yeah, so I just did a Chicago flag. They sort of they went back in and tried to fill it in and use a different color red, and I am mad about that. But I do think that I can go in because it's not very much and just like pull those strands out. I'm not too worried about it. This one, I don't remember the exact measurements for the medium size at this studio, but I think it was around 28 by 36-ish. And so it's like a nice doormat size. I'm gonna end up putting it under my spinning wheel and just using it as like a little spinning mat, I guess. So I'm really excited about this. This was mine. I love it. I was really happy to get it back. Oh, I don't want to knock things over. And then a friend of mine who went with us to Tuft did his and then called me later and was like, hey, like, I don't want mine. I just wanted to go and hang out and like experience it with everyone. So why don't you pick it up and show people on your channel and see if anybody wants it on your channel. And I said, oh, okay, cool. So here's the one that he did. I don't remember the artist that it was modeled after, but it's fun. It's giving artistic sunsets. And I think it's really cool. This is a smaller version. And so, yeah, there's no backing. Well, there's a backing to it, but there's like no mounting to like hang it or anything. So yeah, we're just gonna put this out into the YouTube universe. And if anybody would like to have this little tufted rug, it's a smaller one. I think it's 18 by 18-ish. Why don't you put sunset in the comments and then I'll pick one. And the next time I podcast, I will pick somebody and then mail this off to you. I thought that was really sweet of him to want to. He was like, put it on your channel and give it away. I'm like, okay, cool. I love having crafty friends. All right, the next FO that I want to show is, I'm kind of going faster. I feel like there's so much that I need to just talk quickly. I can't remember if I talked about this with you all or not. I'm going to be taking a sewing class in May. And, well, I couldn't wait. So I just wanted to try using my machine on my own before I went to take this sewing class where I'm going to be using other machines. That one's really going to be for learning how to read patterns, learning how to cut, all the basics of things. And so I have a feeling I'm going to end up doing whatever project we're doing there twice, because I'll do it with them and then try to repeat the steps on my own at home. Anyway, I was wanting to try to make something on my machine, and one day after work I decided we have a Vogue fabric here. Well, yeah, here. Anyway, it's close-ish to where I live. And so after work one day I was at a school and I biked up to the Vogue fabric, and they had, because this world is new to me, I would assume that this is how a lot of places are. They had just a clearance racks, I guess, with just maybe almost a yard's worth of fabric, but they were all rolled up. So you got sort of an idea, but not really an idea of what the fabric looked like. And they were pretty cheap. And so I just grabbed two random ones. And so with one of them, I went on here to YouTube University, and was looking up a bunch of tutorials, I guess, on making like a half apron, because I have a half apron that I use that I got like when I was on tour many years ago, that I use just like as a lap covering when I'm spinning, so that I don't have like fiber all over me. And it can just get on the lap blanket, or on the lap blanket, on the apron that I'm wearing. And so I wanted to make another one of those. So I looked up tutorials, and I will link that below. The one that I watched, it was like a, I don't know, 30-minute apron or something. And so here's how that turned out. I love this fabric. So it has little straps, which were fun. I got to like, I mean, this curve isn't the best, but it'll do, pig, it'll do. You know, practice my measuring, ironing things, like doing some stitches, some like top stitching on here. The fun thing, and you can't really tell because the pattern or the fabric is so crazy, is there are 3, so there's 2 here, and then a big center pocket. 3 pockets that go with that are on the front of it. And yeah, I think it turned out really well, and I'm pretty excited about it. I think my lines, for me, knitting straight, for me, sewing in a straight line are okay. Like for my first, like I've made, there's not one around me. Like I've made like project bags before, and like those are fine. But this was like me, like cutting a lot of things out, trying to figure out where things go, following this like little YouTube video. Yeah, but I think like it's a good first go. I was happy that while I was working on this chair is very creaky. While I was working on this, something happened with my machine at one point. I don't remember what it was. It was just like wasn't feeding, and I was able to like troubleshoot and go in and fix it because I remember what I learned from my one-on-one that I had at the sewing machine place, the Singer out factory place that we have here. And so that made me feel really good. And then another time, the bobbin was empty. And so like, I was like, oh, okay, this is how to remember how to like refill your bobbin. And so I was happy that I could do that as well without like panicking a little bit. Yeah, so it's cool. I'm really excited to have had not a first sewing project since I've made project bags in the past, but like a first time doing something that's not that, like a little, I don't know, just like a garment-y-ish project. And it just made me really excited to try other things. I bought another, of course I didn't bring it in here, another little clearance piece of fabric that I saw another thing, which I can link it below too, even though I haven't made it yet, of just someone making a project bag out of like an old button-down a button-down shirt, long sleeve shirt. And I thought that was really interesting. And so I bought another piece of fabric that's not this, it has a different patterning on it, to try to hopefully make a project bag out of soon. So that's that. So a little bit of tufting, a little bit of sewing. And now let's get into some yarny goodness, shall we? Where to start, really? I'll start here. I guess my new order of things is like random crafty acts, spinning, knitting. I actually have some crochet that I need to like do. So soon enough that will hit here. All right, so last time we were together, I showed you all, this isn't what I need. I showed you all some fiber that I was spinning up from Into the World, and it was a one braid was a Cheviot and the other one was a Romney. Yeah, and so I was spinning those up. I spun, because it was only 2 braids, I don't know, I tried to split them so I had like I took a third off of 2 of the braids and then spun one full one end to end, the other full one end to end, and then the 2 that I took from, does this make any sense? I like split them up into smaller pieces and then did 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Anywho, I am gonna be honest. In the beginning, I was like, oh no, this is gonna look awful. But I have to say, after I took a step back and finished plying them, I really like how it turned out. What? So this wasn't skeined up. It's literally just been sitting on a drying rack drying. Can we get into this a little bit? I loves it. So out of those 4 ounces, or 8 ounces, I guess, I had a little bit left over on my bobbins, but before washing, this was 596 yards. Yeah, and so I love the way that this ended up turning out. As I was going through and plying it, I will say that I need to actually check out like what the size of it is. I think it looks a little sporty, fingering-y. And I think that the colors shift enough where this would be really cool. Where's that? Oh, I don't know where it is. I've moved everything. Is it behind me? It's not behind me. Anyway, I think that this would look really great for people who've been here for a while. You may remember I spun some fiber that I thought was going to end up being the moon bumps shawl, and then that didn't work out. It wasn't the vibe that I was going for. But I think this, because the colors shift enough, and actually it looks way better on screen than, I mean, it looks good here too, but just with the color shifts and the changes, I think that it would look really cool in that, like this skein definitely has more yellow in it versus this one, which has a little bit more just like variation of colors. Anywho, I'm really happy with this. Yeah, I've really just been enjoying the spinning lately. It's just really been a great time. And I think that's what we want, right? Like out of our crafts is we just want things that are, this is so bad. We just want things, oh, it looks good from that angle. It doesn't really. Things that are bringing us joy and making us feel comfort in what it is that we're doing. And spinning is definitely doing that for me right now. And I'm just really happy about it. So this will hopefully be something one day. If not, like I'm now, like this thing right here is all handspun. And honestly, the one that's directly behind me is sort of empty. It has like some randomness in it. But I think I have to start another handspun cube, which is actually kind of fun. All right. That's that. Tufting, sewing, spinning. All right, let's get into some knitting. One of the things that I have to show you that is knitting is I finished my, why can't I think of it? Oh, I finished my dotted rays that I was working on for a friend of mine. It's finally done. I ended up finishing it, blocking it, doing all the ends and taking it to work and give to him. But I did record a little video before I gave it away to him. So I will cut to that now and you all can hear all about how I finished that dotted rays, and I will see you back here on the other side of that. What's good, future people? So I am here to talk about the completed dotted rays that I was working on for my friend. So like many of you know, or don't know. I was working on a dotted raise for my friend, and I was using beehive yarns, which is some yarn that he had purchased for me to make this. So this is the tag for beehive, and this is the 90, oh no, not 90, it's not 90. That 80% superwash merino, 10% cashmere, 10% nylon base, and it's 437 yards or 400 meters for 100 grams. And I was using these 3 colors. So this, oh my gosh, so this red is Raven Red, beautiful, tonal red. This yellow, goldeny yellow is Sunflower, and this variegated is Tapestry. So I used these 3 colors. I have a ton left over because for those of you who were here in the last episode, I sort of did some bad yarn management and had to go and pick up 2 more skeins of the other 2 colors so that I could complete the fade and how I was doing my bad math. So I think with the leftovers, I'm gonna end up making a hat, probably one of those ones that everyone makes, the tube one, with the 2 colors, like the red on one side, the gold on the other, and then the middle, which would be the brim, would be the tapestry. I'll think about it. I'm sure I'm gonna look up some other patterns as well. I'll probably hold it DK if I do, or hold it double so that I can get sort of a DK worsted-ish gauge with it, just so I can use up most of the yarn, because if I'm being honest, like, I'm trying to get rid of scraps or leftovers, whatever you want to call them. Anyway, here is the completed version of the dotted rays. Again, this is a pattern by Stephen West. Let me make sure I have the correct side. So you start here with I actually don't even know where the beginning is. Oh, here. You start here with just a little, like, tab, and then it's just short rows and you work your way out. So that started with the Raven Red, and that faded into this tapestry color, which then, oh my gosh, it's so big, faded in with the Sunflower, which then the last bit is just the Sunflower. I'll try to pop in a photo here of just me wearing it, just so you can see the whole thing. But this is, I'm gonna try not to hit the mic. This is what it looks like on. Oh my gosh, wait, no, this way. Where's the mic? Okay, cool. Actually, I'll just do this and hold it. So he wanted sort of this reddish color to be closest to his face, and then the gold to be on the end. I feel like, let me just lift up a little bit. I feel like I definitely achieved that, and this yarn is so soft and really beautiful. Yeah, I'm super happy with it and love the way that it turned out. I'm excited to finally give it to him so that he, not that he was bothering me for it or like being like, hey, where's my thing? But just because of me being sort of injured with my elbow, which I'm gonna hopefully stop talking about now since I can knit again and I'm managing it. I was just put off of what my normal schedule for making something would be, or timeline, I guess, would be. But yeah, I think this is a wonderful pattern. I've made it, I think this might be my 3rd or 4th time making it. It's all garter stitch. It's just short rows. There's no picking up of stitches or picking up wraps once you come back doing those short rows. So it really does make for sort of a very, sitting on the couch, watching television, mindless knit. This is the large version. There's also a small version. There's a DK weight version. I think there's also even patterns where Stephen West is showing you how to stripe colors if that's your jam. This one should only take 3 skeins if you manage your yarn properly. And it was done on a US 6, so what is that, a 4mm needle. I think the DK is done on an 8, so a 5mm. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about it. There's nothing really else to say. I enjoyed making it. I'm sure in the future I will make others because it's such a good go-to pattern. That's it. I will send you back to past me, future me. I don't really know how we're saying this, but I'll send you back to the normal episode so we can finish wrapping up FOs and things like that. All right, peace, y'all. All right. Welcome back to the present, I guess. So that was my dotted rays. I'm really happy with how that turned out, and safe to say that my friend who I made that for absolutely loved it, and it was so fun to see them leave work because it's been a little bit chilly here and wrap up in it. That made my heart sing. I do, like I mentioned, I have some leftovers, and so I'm probably going to end up making something with the leftover yarn that I have from that project. All right, my next thing, I'm calling these finished, even though I still need to weave in the ends, but I finally finished. Do I have the tag in here? I don't. I finally finished my January yarn club from Woolens and Nosh socks. See, here's an end. So these are, I want to say the color was #Wes Anderson style, maybe. These are on Michelle's Targhee nylon base, so that's 90% superwash Targhee, 10% nylon. The mini was this brown, and it corresponded with the little stripes that are in between. I absolutely love the colors of how these turned out. I like that I started with the yellow. The heel went in at near the yellow, and then I finished with the yellow, so that's kind of fun. All of my socks are done on a US 1. Yeah, US 1 2.25, and I knit them top. No, I don't. No, I don't. I knit them bottom. Oh my God. I knit them. I do. I knit them toe up. I start with a Turkish cast on, and I increase to 68 stitches, and then I just knit for about 7 3/4 of an inch. Place the markers for where I want my heel to go, and then knit until I'm tired. For these, I think I did 12 rounds, maybe 15, for the cuff, and I just finished with a stretchy bind off in the end for these. I know last time I said that I wanted to do the sewn bind off again, and to be quite honest, I was on the bus when I finished these, and I didn't have a needle, and I was just like, I just want these to be done. So my regular bind off it's gonna be. I love these. I'm super excited that they're finally done. I feel like because I haven't really been knitting that much. Hadn't had a pair of socks come off the needles in a while, so I'm happy that these are done. I do, which I haven't weighed yet, but I do have kind of a lot of the yarn left, and so I think I'm gonna workshop weighing it and seeing how much is left, and try to make just a pair of shorty socks out of them. Excuse me. I feel like one time I weighed a pair of my shorty socks and they were about 52 grams. And that was that was just like, they were just like the same color. And I feel like if I use this and then contrasting toes, heels, and a little bit of a cuff, I could like get away with like not using very much of this. So fingers crossed, let's find out. Or fingers crossed, let's see. We will find out soon. So that's that. I'm kind of just like flying through all of this. But I feel like you have seen a lot of these things already, and so it's like, all right, wrap it up. All right, let's get into the only whip that I have for this episode. And that is, which photo do I want to show? That is my Traveler Shawl that I'm working on by Andrew Mowry. So here's that. You all, I'm sorry. It's just like so much rustling. I am loving this. So this was a pattern that was written using handspun. I mean, you could use, non-handspun to do it. But I spun up the yarn for it. So I used 3 different braids to make a fun combo spin out of it. I will say I'm a pinch worried that, so I ended up having 3 skeins. I need to figure out how I can measure my yardage for my hand spun without rewinding it. Like once I wash it, I know that there's like a percentage that gets lost in the wash, but I don't really know how to like properly calculate that. So I can look that up, but spinning friends, if you know like how I can calculate my yardage after it being washed, that would be really dope. Thanks, internet. I'm thanking you all in advance. So I am currently on my 2nd skein of this. I mean, I have a decent amount left, and if I'm being honest, I only have 23 more rows before I have to do whatever's next in the pattern to start the other wing of this. So let me show you all the progress that I've made on this. You all, I'm loving this. So here's where I am. It's quite long, actually. So it's growing. It grows more on one side than the other. Yeah, it grows more on one side than the other. One's just like, when you get there, one side is like you're always increasing on. And so this, my little guy, my Whitney Marie Anderson charm, my me, is where I was last time. And so this is how much I've done since the last time I've seen you all. I'm really digging the yarn. I love the drape. I was having a little bit of trouble understanding the shape of this, if I'm being honest. Like I had to look at the schematic a couple times because I was like, this isn't gonna be like big. I'm nervous, but I think once, well, a couple of things. One, I know now how the next step is gonna go. And so it makes much more sense to me. Like this long edge is like the wingspan of it. And then we're gonna pick up along this like shorter edge, which now makes way more sense. And I think after blocking, and it opens up, oh, it's so beautiful. Once it opens up some, I think it's gonna be really nice. And just like it, I mean, I don't wanna open it too much, but maybe I do. I think it's gonna make for like a nice size shawl. I have enough schlankets, but I think that this is gonna end up being really beautiful. And if I'm being quite honest, I'm enjoying it so much. Dare I say I would wanna knit another one. Yeah, this has been really cool to like knit with my own handspun. I will point out, because knitters, I was on the bus today working on this, and I noticed that I dropped a stitch. And so I have to, luckily I had an extra, which is unlike me. Normally I have little things in my bag, but I guess I just didn't. But I had an extra, what are these called? locking stitch marker that I just pulled off of this because it was like telling me what the back was, and caught it. So it didn't drop very far. So I need to fix that. But I'm really digging this. This is the Traveler Shawl by Andrea Mowry. The texture is really cool. It's been so fun using my handspun. Yeah, good times. Okay, so that's that. Hoping that I will make... Actually, let me just move my little guy right now. Make some more progress on that by the next time you see it. I mean, I know I will. It's sort of the only thing that I'm really working on right now, and it's bringing me so much joy. I like to go through a couple little things with this because this guy is a little bit heavy. All right, so that is that. The last thing I want to share with you is just a couple things that I picked up while I was at YarnCon today. I will say that it was an absolute blast. I got to see a bunch of people and give some wonderful hugs to some really lovely friends that I know in real life, and then friends that I only know on the internet, but like have met now for the first time in real life. And that was just an absolute joy to sit and hang out with these people for quite some time, just like talking about some of everything, craft and silliness, and it's always really dope. And I know, like, you've probably heard other podcasters say this, and people who are in this YouTube fibery world, that it's just so fun to be around your people and just like be together to like chit chat and talk about things. And yeah, it just like warms my heart. Also, to anyone who came up and said hello, who is a viewer of the channel, it was so lovely meeting you all. I love that so much. And yeah, I love the like stares, like, you look very familiar. And then I'm like, oh, hi. And then you're like, I thought that was you. I love that. So I didn't get... Of course, my water bottle falls over. I didn't get very much. I told myself today while I was going that, sorry, it's gonna be a little rustly, that for this outing, I was only going to purchase fiber. I didn't want to buy any yarn because I felt like I had enough yarn, but I have some fiber too stashed away, but I did want to get some fiber while I was there just because I've been enjoying spinning so much. I will say this too, I will try to figure out how I can link a list of all the vendors from YarnCon here on YouTube so that you can go and check out any of the vendors that are there. I ran into, there were a lot of new to me vendors there this year, which I also thought was really cool. So I tried to just like pop in to their shops, and even though I wasn't buying things, just like see what they were offering and just like get an idea of what they had, which was really fun. So a couple things that I picked up. This braid is 100% Corriedale, and it's 29 microns. It's 4.2 ounces in smoky azurite. And this is from You to Me to You. And I just thought, oh my God, what are you doing? Wait a minute, hold the phone. And I just thought that this was lovely, so beautiful. So this was one braid I picked up. The woman who owns, I believe, who owns the shop, Mary, she was a trip. And I love when I can be silly with people, I guess, to say the least, and just like feel like we're friends right off the bat. And so she was very silly and was down for all of my shenanigans while I was standing chatting with her. So that's one thing I picked up. And then, wait, I feel like I'm missing some things. And then I picked up these stitch stoppers from Pearl Talk. Oh, I can't remember. the owner's name now. I'm so sorry if you see this. I love talking to her. I know that she is a friend of the podcast, Angela's friend, and she had these stitch stoppers. I have stitch stoppers that are on my Traveler Shawl right now, and like I'm kind of into them. And I just thought that these seahorses were really cute. So I picked these up, and then she had stickers. This one says, I'd rather be spinning. So cute. And this one says, peace, love, knit. I felt that was pretty on brand. So I got stickers and some stitch markers. Another new to me fiber person was, his name is Aaron, and he has inclement fine fiber and handcraft. Oh, these lights are a little bright. This is his tag, and I don't know if he has a shop or not. I just started following him on Instagram. He has a smaller following, but he was selling these bats. They're I think they're 1.2 ounce bats, and they are rambouillet with mulberry silk and some Indian something silk. I can't remember, but I thought these were really beautiful and very decently priced. He worked on a sliding scale, which I thought was really neat. So it was like pay what you can between these two prices. So I picked up these two bats, which I'm really excited to hopefully they're so soft. Hopefully one day spin up. I'm thinking of trying long draw with these again. I kind of want to keep them separate too. Maybe, I don't know. I say I want to keep them separate, but who knows? I'll probably spin them and then ply them together just because I think the marled look would be really beautiful with these two. So that was that, inclement fine fibers. And then my last stop, which they've been at the show before, but I just never purchased anything from them, and that is Apothecary Fabrications. Sounded out, friend. And so this first thing is Baby Doll Southdown, and it's 28 micron comb top. I just thought that this was gorge. So here's her label. Can I get any closer? And then I also picked up this braid of Just Montana Corriedale wool, and that is 24 microns. And so in my head, because like my jam now, I guess, is doing these combo spins, is putting these four together. It's a lot of gray. So like the moodiness of the gray and blue here with just the solid gray, and then this dark charcoaly gray blue with these blips of the golden yellow, I think would be really beautiful. Anyway, so yeah, that was it. That was my haul. Not very much. What was that? Three braids and 2 little bats. And some stitch stoppers. That's kind of good, if I'm being honest. Yeah, so that's that. Excuse me, I had a wonderful time. Like I said, it's so fun. I feel very lucky that we have a festival here in the city that is like so easily accessible to me. I could like jump on the train and head over there, and then spend a bunch of time there. It goes on, if you're seeing this, maybe this will go up tonight. It'll probably go up early tomorrow, which will be Sunday morning, the 21st of April. Yeah, if you get to watch this and you're in or around the Chicagoland area, I think it goes from 10 to 3 tomorrow. Definitely check it out. There's some beautiful stuff that is there. I had a blast. It's another cool thing about living in the city that I get to go. I'm lucky enough to just like have a little show that's here in the city that I get to go spend money at. And I'm really proud of myself of being strict of I only want to buy fiber while I'm there, because like I said, I have plenty of yarn. I have more yarn than I will, I don't want to say ever knit, because like hopefully I have a long life and I'll be able to knit through a lot of this, but you know what I mean. Like there's a lot here and one day I'll get to all of it. Other than that, yeah, I think that's it for this episode, y'all. It's a little bit longish. I don't have a music rec for you this week, but like I said in the opening, there is so much great new music that is coming out lately. So, if you are a Spotify person, I don't really know how Apple Music works, but I'm sure it's the same, or Tidal, or I'm sure there's another one that I'm not thinking of right now. I would definitely check out like what's new, what's hot right now, what's just coming out, and see, what fun new music is out that you might not know about and you might be interested in. If you are so inclined and you want to share just like what you're jamming out to new music wise down in the comments below, I would love that. And I'm sure other people who sneakily read the comment section on my channel would enjoy that as well. We love to share over here. And I think that's it, you all. I'm going to keep working on my Traveler Shawl. I'm going to fix those drop stitches and hopefully get some more socks on the needles. I would love to start a sweater project since I have swatched for like 5 and not cast on any. I can't believe we are 4 months into the new year. I guess I made that slip over for my friend. That was for my friend though. We're 4 months into the year and I haven't made myself a sweater yet. And so I would like to remedy that sooner rather than later. Anywho, I hope everyone's doing well as you can. I hope the next 2 weeks provide you with some sort of creativity. Oh, here's what I'll say. Within the next 2 weeks, try this. Put some music on by yourself, with a loved one, with friends. If you have little nuggets that are running around the house, maybe even with them, put some music on and have a dance party just for a little bit. Like, it might do you some good. Maybe you think you don't dance. Put some music on and just give me a little shoulder shimmy. I've been finding that it's been bringing me a lot of joy lately, whether I be commuting or at home, just listening to some of the awesomeness that's been coming out lately. So I want you to experience some of that as well. And I hope you try it out. So until I see you next time, have a dance party, make a piece, spread some peace. Peace.